Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So it's time to share with you another haul. This will be my February haul, and it is a long one and it is very eclectic. I have all kinds of fragrances here. There are some very affordable fragrances, there are some mid-range, and a few more sort of luxury expensive fragrances. So let's start going through these. First, I have a couple of purchases from MANCERA, and I haven't purchased anything from MANCERA in quite a long time, and one of these is a blind buy, but another one is not. It's something that I have sampled before. And I'm gonna start with the fragrance that I have sampled before, and in fact, I sampled it probably over a year ago, and I really liked it and have no idea why it took me so long to get it, but I finally did. I am talking about Musky Garden from MANCERA. So it comes in a black box. Let's open it. Then we have typical MANCERA kind of golden pouch in here. And the fragrance is in here. And I have to say that this is the most beautiful MANCERA bottle that I have ever seen. I wish more of their fragrances came in bottles like these. Here it is black. It has this gorgeous kind of a golden flower on the top. Just beautiful bottle. The cap, I think, yeah, this one unscrews. So let's talk about the fragrance. The notes in here are cranberry, peach, citruses, rose, iris, jasmine, patchouli, musk, raspberry, blackberry, and amber. And it is a really beautiful fragrance. It's like, the name is actually perfect. It's like you are in some kind of garden, but it's not a garden of fresh flowers. It's sort of a garden of flowers that they have been there for a long time. It's flowers that are almost drying out and almost going bad. And then mixed with those flowers, you also have fruits. So there is cranberry, peach, citruses, raspberry, blackberry. So I am not picking up any of the fruits separately, but it's like it's a mixture of these fruits, and the fruits are also, it's like they've been brooding somewhere for a while. They're not like fresh, plump type of fruits. So it is just beautiful fragrance. It does it have musk? Yeah, it has the typical MANCERA musk, but it is really nice in this one. I mentioned several times that MANCERA musk is very tricky for me. Very often I get this really unpleasant kind of synthetic sour note. So in this one, it's not the case. It's beautiful. Everything is blended together really beautifully. It's a little bit unusual. It is fruity floral overall, but it's kind of, you know, those brooding flowers and fruits that have been there for a while. So stunning fragrance. I'm really thrilled to have it in my collection. Second one was a blind buy, and even though I've told myself many times that I will not be blind buying MANCERA for the reasons that I just stated, I just couldn't resist. This, I believe, is one of their newer releases from 2020, and it's called Juicy Flowers. So this one comes in a golden box, the same golden pouch inside. There you go. Let's take it out, and this one is a beautiful pink bottle. And on this one, the cap is magnetic, so you don't screw the cap. I don't know if that's a new thing that they're doing or they're just doing it for certain fragrances. I'm not sure, but it is magnetic on this one. All the other MANCERAs that I have the screwing cap. Okay, let's talk about the fragrance. So the notes in here are red fruits, citruses, pear, pink pepper, rose, jasmine, sandalwood, peach, raspberry, vanilla, ambergris, musk. So, you know, now that I'm reading the notes, I can kind of see, I guess, a connection between these two MANCERA fragrances. They have a lot of similar notes, but the smell to me is quite different. This one has sort of very fresh, very bright, very juicy fruits. It is mostly a fruity fragrance that I would say. So red fruits, citruses, pear, all of that, raspberry, all of that is here. Vanilla is also in here. It is sweet. It is not tooth-achingly sweet, but it definitely has sweetness in it. And you do have a floral nuance, although again, I cannot really distinguish any individual floral notes. It is just a very happy, girly, kind of romantic, I would say, fragrance. It is very juicy, very ripe fruits are in here. So really, really stunning. I kind of guessed correctly with this one. Again, I don't get any bad vibes from the musk in here. This is really, really beautiful. So again, really, really happy with this purchase. Next, I purchased 2 fragrances from ZARA, and both of these are from their Jo Malone collaboration. So they released quite a few. And so I looked at the notes, I looked at the fragrances. I didn't want to purchase all of them. I chose the ones that I thought I would like the most. So the first one I got, and this is the one that I was most excited about, the one that I thought I was going to love the most, is called Ebony Wood. So they come in these white boxes, kind of Jo Malone reminiscent, I would say, the packaging and the bottle, kind of minimalistic, clean, simple. And the bottle is inside. Here it is. I got the small, I think it's 40 ml. So this is again Ebony Wood. So let's look at the notes first. We have ebony, cloves, and pink pepper. Very simple. There are only 3 notes. And I have to be honest, I was quite disappointed in this one. I don't know what it, like, in a way, it is sort of a nice fragrance. Again, in a Jo Malone kind of style, in a, you know, simplistic, minimalistic kind of style. But there is something in here, and I have no idea which note causes that, but there is something in here that gives me some kind of unpleasant smell, almost a smell that kind of makes me a little bit ill. You know, it's very unpleasant. I don't know what it is. So on one hand, I really like it, but there is some kind of note in here that is just not agreeing with me. So yeah, I definitely get pepper in here. It is a little bit spicy. It is a little bit woody. That's basically what it is. It is sort of a woody, spicy, even slightly fresh. But like I said, there is some kind of note in here that is not agreeing with me right now. I haven't had really an opportunity to play with this too much. So I do want to play with this a little bit. But if after playing with it a few more times, if I don't change my mind about it, then it's very likely that this one will not stay in my collection. Second one that I chose from the ZARA collection is called VETIVER Pamplemousse. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So again, comes in exactly the same box, and I also got 40 ml bottle. So here it is. And of course, this fragrance, as we can judge by the name, is about grapefruit and vetiver. And I think I mentioned before that citrusy fragrances used to be my absolute favorite type of fragrance. And although that's no longer the case, but I still enjoy a nice citrusy scent. And grapefruit is actually my absolute favorite citrusy note. So I was really excited to try this one. So the notes in here are, like I said, grapefruit, vetiver, and orange. That's all it is. So let's smell this one. And this one did not disappoint. I absolutely love it. It is such a beautiful grapefruit scent. Grapefruit is definitely the star in this fragrance. It really smells like a grapefruit. It is a little bit zesty. It is a little bit tart. It is very juicy. And then I can't really say that I get any orange in here, honestly. For me, it's the grapefruit, and perhaps vetiver is mixed in here as well. It just tones down grapefruit a little bit. This one is beautiful. For those of you that enjoy grapefruit in a fragrance, I think this is a great, inexpensive find. And I haven't really worn it now because to me, citrusy scents are really for the warm weather. So I'm definitely looking forward to wearing this one in the summer. So again, this is VETIVER Pamplemousse. This one is definitely a winner. Next, I'm going to share with you 2 fragrances from a house that no one really talks about. It's not well known, at least I don't think it is, but it's a house that I mentioned once in one of my videos. I think it was quite a while ago. I did a video on my $1,000 fragrance fantasy card, and this was one of the fragrances that I've chosen in that fantasy card. So I finally pulled the plug on a couple of these and tried them out, and now that I'm looking at today's haul, it's very interesting because it looks like I have 2 fragrances from each house that I'm going to share with you. I have no idea how this happened, but that's the case with everything that I have. So let's talk about these 2. I'm talking about a house called Bottega Parfumera. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Not Bottega Veneta, Bottega Parfumera, which is, I think, a niche Italian brand, if I remember correctly. And I purchased 2 of their fragrances, but not in full bottles. They sell these 15 ml little bottles, which I think are wonderful to test out a fragrance. And these 15 ml bottles are very, very inexpensive, somewhere around, I don't know, 20, 30 Canadian dollars. So the 2 that I chose are in FLORA and Gourmand. Gourmand. So let's talk about in FLORA first. Of course, as you can tell by the name, this is a floral fragrance. We have tangerine, rose, orange, musk, freesia, lily of the valley, and amber. And let's start with the fact that both of these have amazing performance. I was really, really surprised. I don't know why, but I sort of didn't expect them to have a great performance, but they do. They last a long time and they project really well, and they even leave a really nice sillage. Both of these equally. So performance is definitely great. Now, this fragrance, it is really nice, but it is also very, I would call it perfumey. Like, this really smells like perfume. I would say maybe a touch outdated because of such a strong perfumey vibe that I'm getting. At least that's sort of my impression. It is definitely floral. You're getting a floral bouquet. It is a really nice bouquet. Again, nothing really stands out to me. It's just a lot of flowers put together. It is not headachy. It is not overpowering. It is a really nice floral bouquet. There is tangerine here, orange. I'm not really getting that. I'm getting some musk in here. Definitely, it's a musky bouquet. It is quite perfumey. It is a little bit sweet. It is a little bit powdery. So it is, for those of you that enjoy floral scents, I think you would really like this one. Florals are not my favorite type of fragrance, so you know, this is not my favorite, but it is really, really nice. But like I said, it is very perfumey and it is very floral. Second one, like I said, is called Gourmand, and of course it is a gourmand, and the notes in here are caramel, vanilla, coconut, amber, musk, benzoin, and woody notes. And this one is really, really beautiful. It reminds me of something. I feel like it is similar to another fragrance that I have smelled, but I cannot pinpoint it. I cannot figure it out what it reminds me of at all. So it is sweet. You have vanilla, you have caramel and benzoin. They mix beautifully together. There's also woody notes. So it's a touch woody, but not too much so. It even sort of has a slightly boozy vibe, I would say. Not a lot, but there is a little bit of that boozy kind of, like there is some kind of a touch of liquor added to this. It is deep. It is sweet. It is a beautiful, beautiful gourmand. Again, for the price, I would definitely recommend. I mean, they have bigger bottles. I just went with these smaller ones so that I can try them out. This one, for those that love gourmands, I would definitely, definitely recommend. It's a really nice gourmand. Next, I'm going to show you very, very quickly the two fragrances that I purchased from FRASSAN, which of course I shared with you in a separate haul and house review. But in case you didn't watch that video, I'm going to mention that I purchased Tease and Dew and Blondine. So if you're interested to find out anything about these two fragrances, then definitely check out that video. I'm going to link it up here, and all the details about how these two smell and overall what I think about this house are in that video. And so that brings us to the last house that I'm going to share with you today, and that's the house of Guerlain. First fragrance from this house that I purchased is called Meteorites, and let me take it out first and show you the bottle. Here it is. It is beautiful. It is the same type of bottle that terracotta comes in. And of course, this is meant to smell like Meteorites from Guerlain, Meteorites powder. I'm sure many of you have seen it or have tried it. So the notes in here are apple, bergamot, cassis, green notes, iris, rose, mimosa, musk, orris, woods, and sandalwood. And this was really a gamble. I really didn't know if I was gonna like this fragrance. But I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. It sort of has a similar vibe to Insolence from Guerlain, which I've had and I decluttered because it was just not something that I used, not something that I gravitated towards. It has that kind of vibe, but there is apple in here and there are green notes, and they definitely bring some kind of freshness and even maybe a touch of sourness, but I don't want you to think that it's unpleasant sourness. It's something that tones down sort of the sweetness and the heaviness from the floral notes. And it definitely is a little bit green. So it is really fresh, light, kind of floral with a very pronounced note of apple. And bergamot is here as well. So I think that brings freshness to this as well. It is a really beautiful, light, fresh, fruity floral, I would say. Although this is mostly floral, but again, apple adds really nice touch to this. Again, now is not probably the best weather to wear this, although I have worn it at home quite a few times and really, really enjoyed it. But this I will be using, I am sure, more in spring and summer. And that brings us to the last and I would say most challenging fragrance of this haul, again from Guerlain. This is Santal Royal. This is a fragrance that I never thought I would purchase based on the notes, but I decided to give it a try. I decided to risk it. Now, let me show you the bottle first. So here it is. It is beautiful. This is my first bottle from this Guerlain collection. I can't remember what the collection is actually called. So let's look at the notes first, and then I will tell you what I think about this fragrance. So the notes in here are jasmine, neroli, rose, cinnamon, peach, oud, sandalwood, leather, amber, musk. So why was I scared of this fragrance? Well, we have oud and we have leather, and although I've become more friendly with oud in the last year, leather I am definitely not friendly with. So I was definitely very scared to test this one. In fact, when this arrived, I sprayed it on my husband first. I said, okay, you test it out first. I'm scared. I'm afraid I'm gonna absolutely hate it. And I have to say that he loved it. This has quickly become one of his favorite scents. And so when he said, wow, this is really good. This is really amazing. And he said, this is something different for your collection. I thought, okay, I'm ready to test it now. So when I read the reviews, I kind of assumed this was mostly sort of, I don't know, either rose and oud fragrance because both are present here, or this was really, because it's called Santal Royale, this was really about sandalwood. And I have to say, I don't know how anyone else perceives this fragrance, but for me, it's not really about sandalwood and it's not really about rose and oud. When I first sprayed this fragrance, and let me say, this is really strong. This is a powerhouse fragrance. This is not for every day. This is definitely a going out fragrance. Even I would not wear it during the day, and I typically don't care. I just wear what I like, but this one, no. I cannot pull it off during the day. This is definitely an evening scent. I really think this is a confident woman kind of scent. I don't think everyone will like it, and I don't think everyone can pull it off. This is very strong. This is a beast of a fragrance for sure. So let's talk about what it actually smells like, because I was really surprised by what it smells like to me. When I sprayed originally in the opening, a leather note is very, very strong. It is not, kind of an offensive or stinky type of leather. No, it's a nice type of leather, but it's still leather. There is maybe a touch of oud mixed with it. Maybe there is a touch of rose mixed with it, but I would say both rose and oud are not very noticeable to me. But what I get mixed with leather are fruits. This is kind of sweet, fruity fragrance mixed with leather. That's what I'm getting more than anything else. And as it starts drying down, leather note is getting weaker and fruity notes are getting stronger. And so after it's been sitting on my skin for, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, somewhere around there, leather has subsided quite a lot. It is very light at that point, and kind of sweet, juicy fruits are in the forefront. And what I am getting, and I don't know, I've never heard anyone else say this about this fragrance, but what it reminds me of a lot is Meliora from Parfums de Marly. I get that type of sweet, fruity, juicy kind of vibe with a touch of leather in the background. That's really what I'm getting from this fragrance, which again, really, really surprised me because I thought there will be sandalwood, there will be rose, oud. I was expecting something like that. I was expecting those notes to be prominent, but to my nose, they're not at all. So like I said, that's what I am getting from this fragrance. It is very, very interesting. It is, I would say, an acquired taste. Do not blind buy this one. Definitely sample it first. Not everyone will like it for sure. This is a special kind of fragrance. It is, I agree with my husband, it is very unique to my collection. I definitely don't have anything like this. It's not something that I can wear every day. I have to be in the mood for it, and there has to be the right occasion to wear it. But I will keep it for those special occasions and special moods. So again, this is Santal Royale from Guerlain. And this is the last fragrance in this haul. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and definitely share with me what have you purchased lately. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.